Let me state to President Geraldo Alckmin and also to President Lula that the Brazilian Parliament is united in defending our national interests, Mr. President. I've been talking a lot with President Hugo Motta about these recent events, and we, the Chamber of Deputies and the Federal Senate, the legislative branch, understand that we are going to defend national sovereignty, we are going to protect Brazilian jobs, and we are going to defend the Brazilian entrepreneurs who generate wealth for Brazil. And I am also convinced that this process must be led by the executive branch. This international diplomatic relationship has to be handled by the head of government, by the head of state. I want to make a note, President Alckmin, of how pleased I am to see the Vice President of Brazil leading this process. I think President Lula made the right decision, along with his team, in empowering you so that you can handle all these negotiations without ever giving up our people's sovereignty or Brazil's interests. And recording this, let's say, harmonization of information is essential so that Parliament, President Hugo, is available and the government can lead this entire process alongside the Brazilian Congress. So, I wanted to express our satisfaction at being here today, receiving this information, sensitive information that gives us a full picture of the international landscape. And I see, at this moment of aggression against Brazil and Brazilians, that this is not right. And we need to be firm, resilient, and handle this relationship calmly, work to strengthen our ties, and make things happen while defending Brazilians. So, on my behalf, on behalf of the senators and senadoras, and I am sure that President Hugo Motta will speak about this, the Parliament, Mr. President, is fully committed to defending Brazil's interests.
First of all, I want to thank President Davi, who is hosting us here at the Senate residence for this important moment, alongside President Alckmin, who, in addition to being the Vice President of the Republic, is our Minister of Industry and Commerce and was chosen by President Lula to lead these negotiations with the American government. I want to say that this is yet another moment of national unity, of coming together for the good of the country, to protect our industry, our jobs, and our diplomatic relations with other countries. And I want to say, President Alckmin, that just as we did when passing the reciprocity law, where both in the Senate and in the Chamber we unanimously approved a tool that the Brazilian government now has to ensure the protection of our country and our businesses, we are here, ready to support the executive branch, so that for any necessary decisions, for any action required by Parliament, we can act quickly and efficiently, so that Brazil can come out of this crisis even stronger. I have absolutely no doubt that today our people understand that Brazil cannot be put in a position where external decisions interfere with our sovereignty. Brazil today holds great importance on the world stage, and we are certain that with unity, commitment, and a strong sense of responsibility, we will overcome this moment, protecting all Brazilians.
I want to thank President Davi Alcolumbre, thank President Hugo Motta, and say that we are united in defending national sovereignty. President Lula has emphasized this, and the separation of powers is a cornerstone of the rule of law and democracy. And regarding trade, we believe it is a mistake on the part of the American government because they have a trade surplus with Brazil. Of the 10 products they export the most, 8 pay nothing, no tax at all, and the average import tariff is 2.7%. So, it's completely inappropriate, unfair, and we're going to work together to reverse this.